All right, we're now bringing in David Ulevich, General Partner at Andreessen Horowitz, who oversees the firm's American Dynamism Fund. Welcome.
Hey.
All right, so what is American Dynamism?
American Dynamism is, well, the movement is the idea of investing in things that support the national interest. This is things like defense, energy, public safety, national security, logistics, education, transportation, anything that makes this a great place to build a company, be from, come to. That's American Dynamism, and our fund invests in companies across those categories, but largely defense, energy, public safety.
And you were part of a fireside chat with Chris from Hadrian this morning here at the New York Stock Exchange over breakfast. What were your main takeaways from that conversation?
Well, I think our conversation with Chris really focused on manufacturing, why it's a great time to be investing in manufacturing companies, being able to leverage automation, being able to leverage AI, and other things that really optimize and transform the way that we think of not just manufacturing the final output product, but the entire supply chain that goes with it. How do we think about rare earth minerals and mining? And so we had a great conversation about why we think these are great businesses, why they can be venture-backed businesses, why we think things that were historically low margin, hard, low time to production kind of companies can now become high margin, fast time to production companies. And Chris is leading the way at Hadrian, and we have a whole portfolio of companies that sort of make an armada of great technology companies that are rethinking and reindustrializing America.
And I understand that other leaders in this space were in the room. Do you think there's power in having everybody in person in a room to talk about these things?
Yeah, I mean, you want to get the people that deploy capital, you want to get the builders, the people that start companies, and you want to get the people that cover all these things to really be informed and on a level playing field so that they can see why it's a great opportunity to invest in these companies. If we only invest in companies as startups, but they can't raise downstream capital, they can't raise the follow-on financings, it doesn't work for us. So we need the other capital allocators to be on board with this idea of American Dynamism. They need to see the opportunity that we see. They need to understand the profound impact that automation and AI is going to drive in these categories, and categories have never seen it before. So it's great, and the stock exchange played a great role in bringing us all together.
Can you break down what was talked about in terms of AI and what are some of the use cases?
I think people sometimes over-rotate on the concerns with AI, either the loss of jobs, but what they don't recognize is that there's a growing pie. When we focus on manufacturing, for instance, we're actually going to be creating more jobs and more opportunity, and AI is a part of driving that automation and creating the opportunity to actually bring manufacturing back here to the United States. So when we think of why we don't have great manufacturing in the US, there's a whole bunch of systemic reasons for that, but AI is actually part of what brings it back to the United States. Not just because it's a national security imperative, but because we can leverage automation, robotics, computer vision to transform the way we do things like manufacturing or defense production or defense technology innovation. And so I think people's overall the focus of AI here today was really much more positive and about creating opportunity and leveraging new technologies to make sure that we are the world's dominant superpower and that we do it in a way that uses lots of new skilled labor and uses lots of new capabilities that ultimately will create more jobs.
And what are some of the things that you look for in companies when looking to invest in them?
I think we're always founder first. We want to invest in the most iconic founders, the people that are building the companies that will matter most for tomorrow. If you have a great founder, there's lots of great ideas out there. We meet with lots of companies that tell us they want to reinvigorate manufacturing in the United States, but there's only one Chris Power, somebody who can both, I would say, magnetically attract talent and then magnetically attract capital. Those are the ingredients we care about. Those are the things we look for. And when there's a really, I would say, clear-eyed founder who's charismatic and can actually attract talent and attract capital, that's something that we're most focused on. There's lots of great ideas out there, but execution, hiring the best people, and then raising the amount of money you need to build these kinds of complex, capital-intensive companies is most important.
What is next for American Dynamism?
What's next for American Dynamism? Well, I think that the world continues to be spicy, and we see that there's no change in our country's focus in terms of wanting to rebuild the defense industrial base, reestablish space domain dominance. So there's categories that we see with tons of opportunity. People think SpaceX is going to be the only space company. I think there will be others. People look at Andreessen and think it might be the only defense companies. We think there will be others. It's a great one. We're very happy to be investors in it. But there's lots of surface area that's being created and being expanded daily. And so we'll be investing in companies that often sit now at the intersection of defense, energy, space, logistics, supply chain, manufacturing, and I would say even in getting to know a lot of the companies we've invested in, we now can sort of shift left and look at all the supply chain needs for these companies: motors, actuators, the rare earth minerals, all the precursors that you need. There's a huge need for batteries in this country. There's a huge need for grid stability in this country, and that all creates lots of opportunities to invest in companies.
Thank you so much, David Ulevich, General Partner at Andreessen Horowitz, for joining us at the New York Stock Exchange.
Thank you.